In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, B-Up's on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in this sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, B-Wop tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the
What's going on, family? You're watching Sports Talk with B-Watts. I'm your host. I'm your boy. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video. Hey, family. Hey, I apologize on yesterday. I know I supposed to came on at 9 o'clock last night. Hey, I was tired. I had to get some rest so I can watch that boxing match. I went to sleep because I wanted to see. I really thought my boy was gonna take that L, but man, that dude stood up in that paint all night long, y'all. JR Boxing, my dog told me we gonna win. So hey, lately JR been on his A game lately. So I can't kill him for that. Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford, that boy did that thing last night. We're gonna talk about that tonight too. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Colorado and the football team just a little bit, cause it really ain't that much to talk about. And I'm trying to let bygones be bygones. I'm tired of dwelling on it. But we're going to talk about Colorado too. And also, we're going to hit on a little college football, NFL today. And we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders a little bit. But most important, we're going to talk about that fight. So, hey, rock with me tonight. Hit that like button as you come in. I'm telling you, we're going to have a good time tonight. All right? I got my dog backstage. That's JR Boxing. I'll bring him up in a few minutes. Let me say hello to the number one chat room on YouTube. Miss Nisa Girl is in the building. My dog. I love Cece, man. These folks tickle me by two. I love Cece. You must be saying something in the chat. You got to be saying something in the chat that I have missed, because everybody be telling me what you be saying in that chat. But one thing about it, you ain't left my side yet. You might do it in the future, but you ain't left me yet. You and JR Boxing, y'all still here with me. I can count on y'all. What's going on, MSD? What's going on? Miss Harris in the building. We appreciate you. The France George is in the building. Man, we appreciate y'all. Sabrina, what's going on? How you feeling? Tonight? Yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight, y'all. I'm in a good mood. Miss Harris, Mac, what's going on? Mac is in the building. Appreciate y'all support. Hit the like button now. Hit the like button. Val Green, what's going on? You all right? Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate you tonight. Who else we got? Who else we got? PC, what's up? What's going on? Miss Karen, what's going on? Miss Shepherd, Calvin Shepherd is in the building. Miami, what's going on, Mr. Miami? BD, what's going on? How you feeling? We here for y'all. We here for y'all. We here for y'all. I'm finna get ready to bring JR boxing up. JA, what's up? What's going on in the building? What's going on? Appreciate you rocking. Appreciate you for rocking with me. Yeah. I think I got it. TC, I see. I see. Appreciate y'all. I'm finna bring up JR Boxing, the man of the hour. I need to start calling JR so I can get me some bets in, because that boy been telling what's up. He been right on it, boy. I'm sitting down here broke and busted. he getting loaded.
Man, hey, my little ticket hit last night. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain. Shout out to Bud Crawford, man, in Omaha,
Hey,
Nebraska, baby.
hey, that boy
Stand
stood.
up.
Hey, JR, that boy stood up in the paint last night, boy. I said, "Wee, is Mayweather?" I don't know. We'll talk about it later on, but we gotta get into the show, man. We're gonna talk about it. JR trying to look at me sideways, y'all. I'm just trying to say it, man. That Bud Crawford, boy, he gotta have some hard hands, big dog. He got to have some hard hands, man. He got to. Max and
Heavy-handed,
JR
man.
always show up. Show up. Now, JR gonna miss it every now and then now, y'all. He'll get away now, but we appreciate it. We appreciate it. JR, you get on that boat in a minute.
Hey,
Man, I'm out
man.
here at sea level.
Yeah,
He
man.
watch
I'm,
him
I'm
out
out
here at
there
sea
trying to
level.
fi- I'm out there trying to fish, man.
He out
Just
there
trying to
trying to
enjoy
catch a
life.
shark. JR trying to catch a shark, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you tonight, though, man. Let's get into this
Yeah.
thing, JR. I know we already don't get the post game show, but I want to talk about this also, JR. Going forward. Going forward. Coach Prime in the Colorado Buffalo is coming off a bad win. We know that. We know he's coming off a bad win. We know that, right? He coming off a bad win. But check this out, big dog. The most concerning thing that I have, the most concerning. I mean, it's concerning, big dog. I'm concerned about this. This ball. Don't get it twisted now. I know a lot of people think I'm concerned about the quarterback position. I'm concerned about that too. But can't salt my dog, and I stand on the hill from him. I ain't gonna switch up on him. But I'm gonna move past the quarterback. The quarterback. I'm gonna give Coach Prime a pass because he don't own up to it already. A lot of people on his
Hmm.
head. I get that. I ain't gonna beat up on him because I know he watch the show. But I am gonna say this though, and I ain't gonna bag off this. The defensive side of the ball, bro, they got to fix that. I
Yeah.
don't care what have going on from now on point. You cannot give up 400 yards per game in your first three games, bro. We thought the defense would be better
Yeah.
than what it was last year with the talent, with the coaching staff that they done brought in. Bro, you got to stop the run no matter what.
Yeah.
Pee Wee, Little League, junior high, high school, college, you got to stop the run. And so far, they haven't proven. I mean, there's a lot of people we can blame it on, players, coaches, but it started with the defensive coordinator, big dog.
Yeah.
Seems like they can't stop a running quarterback from
Yeah.
running.
Yeah. I mean, look. You go based off of University of Houston's performance, man. Connor Wegman had a career high performance, career high, not season high. We're talking about career. So, yeah, that's not good, man. When a quarterback who is not known to be very mobile becomes mobile on you and is able to matriculate down the field using his feet and not his arm, that's cause for concern. Again, we talked about it right after the game, B Watts. And I know we were joking, just trying to keep it lighthearted for the viewers, for ourselves, right? Because we all want to see the best for the team.
Right.
But it's definitely, you know, uh it's definitely painful to watch when you've seen them improve from Coach Prime's first year under Coach Kelly to Robin Livingston coming in, boy wonder, and there was a vast improvement to now. Coach Prime is saying, "Hey, we're a deeper team in a lot of spots," but then you don't see it metastasize in front of your eyes on the field. So it's cause for concern, man. And look, some changes have to be made. I'm not calling for any coach job or anything like that, but maybe the way they're functioning. Maybe Coach Livingston needs to go up to the booth so he can see it from a 10,000-foot view, you know? Um, Things like that. Because when you're in it, it's hard to like see it when you're in it. And you go back and you look at the tape and you try to make the corrections through the week. And obviously through the week, you're gonna get a good view of like, all right, this how we attack it, this how we do it. But the in-game corrections are what put CU at a different level last year, right? Because there were some games where they struggled defensively, but they
Mhm.
came back the second half and you looked at the team a whole different way. I bring Nebraska up, the second game of the season last year. The first half against Nebraska, Nebraska was just able to kind of move the ball up and down the field. The second half against Nebraska, CU defense kind of, stood in the paint and they resolved a lot of those issues to limit Nebraska's success in the second half moving the ball. We have yet to see that thus far in 3 games. What up, Coach Dre?
What's going on? What's going on, folks? Um, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. Just stay the course. I know it look dim right now. I know it look dark, but I tell y'all all the time. Only when it's dark can you see the stars. Um, they gonna be all right. Like you say, right now on defense, we don't have a real leader. Uh, right now, I think French is the best thing that we have as a leader. We got some injuries now with Stoudemire getting hurt. And RJ Johnson. Um, you just gotta stay the course. When your head coach say I'm lost for words. I mean, it's not a lot that you can say. He didn't expect that. Nobody did. Uh, so what you got to do now is again, ain't nothing for you. You only can cry for you can only think about this for a minute, and you got to move on. It's a conference loss, but can we come back from it? Yes. But this is what character is made of. We're gonna find out what his football team made of, what these coaches made of. We're gonna find out a whole lot of things. Uh, Again, if one thing I know about Coach Prime, he's not afraid to make changes. So when he would start making changes, I think things are going to get better. I thought our defensive line would be a lot better than what it is. Linebacker play isn't as good as we thought it was going to be as well. So I think Coach Livingston gonna have to make a few changes. I agree with Jr. Maybe he does need to go to the box so you can see it a little better. But I'm not here to tell anybody how to do their job. I just want what's best for Coach Prime and for these young men. Um, but it's gotta something like I said. I haven't. I don't know a lot. I didn't. We were playing at the same time as they were playing. And then I had to jump on the road and get my guy. I was up in y'all in neck of the woods, be watched. I was at Mercer yesterday with my boys. Uh, we got an
Okay.
offer from University of Mercer, so I'm just getting back. So it's been a long weekend. I got to watch a few highlights and things of that nature. But again, I'm not here to pile on. I'm here to try to elevate and congratulate and try to motivate. And so we got to figure it out. That's what I would tell those young men. That's what I tell those coaches. We got to figure it out. And I believe in Coach Prime. I figure he'll figure it out. So that's how I feel about it right now.
Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, when I look at the defensive side, individual play, especially at the cornerbacks and defensive back, when Coach Prime is a Hall of Famer, the best defensive back that ever played the game, to see Colorado defensive back to play they way they've been playing the last 3 games, it's a big disappointment to me.
Yeah,
When they
I
out there on the
mean,
island by themselves, all of them. Vickers played good last week. This week he played bad. Looked like everybody played good last week because we went up against a less competitive team, as I'm
yeah,
saying. That's their first time up in this league. I understand that anybody can look good at that. But I go back to what you And Uncle Steve told me, when you ain't the man and it's your time, you look good in spot duty. But when the majors one that been out there doing what they were supposed to do, and they took the shine, and now they gone, and that spotlight hit you, it's a different total thing. So
Yeah.
when I look at the defensive back, Preston Hodge, thought this was gonna be his year. Boy, he looked bad this past Saturday.
Yeah. Um, from a, look, I'm by no means am I a football aficionado. I'm not gonna tell you about technique. I'm not gonna tell you about all that stuff because that's way out of my wheelhouse. But what I can say is from my experience as a athlete, as a player, as a basketball player specifically, I've been in these players' shoes, man. I've been the guy buried on the bench and got the opportunity to come in like a um like a Ryan Staub, and I've looked good. But then a guy went down with an injury, and I come in, and now your role is different. You're relied upon a little bit different. Even your preparation's different. So it's a different mindset, man. Not saying that I wasn't skillful or anything like that, but when you haven't been in positions um or been the guy often, when you become the guy, sometimes it takes a little bit to get the juices flowing. None of those young men are void of talent. They're all very talented. They would not be there if they're not talented. But now you're talking about you were playing with guys that were guys. We talk about guys that's in the NFL now. Travis Hunter, NFL talent. Cameron Silman Craig, NFL talent. Shiloh Sanders, NFL talent. So when you're playing around those guys, right, and you see them, they getting after it every day and stuff like that. Well, you're not really relied upon to be the guy to make the play, to make, because it's going to be another guy that's going to make the play. That guy's there. Travis Hunter was there to make the interception, to make the miraculous tackle that caused Baylor to fumble, right? And get the win. But guess who lined him up? It was Cameron Silman Craig that lined him up. Now responsibilities are different. Now the voices are different. So now you're looking at a Preston Hodge and say, well, he been in college 6 years. Like, he should be the guy. Should just automatic boom, 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 boom. But if you haven't been in a leadership position and now you're looked upon to be a leader, it's a little bit different. Sometimes you're still trying to get your sea legs, right? That's what they call it. So it's a process that's occurring like right in front of our eyes. Will they get it right? Excuse me. Will they get it right? Absolutely. It's going to take. It's
Time out,
obviously
time out,
taking some
time out,
time.
time out.
Yeah.
Okay. You saying you expect them to get it right? We're going to the fourth game. We're going to the fourth game, right? And
Mm-hmm.
listen, on the back end, I have been asking y'all about the back end
Yeah.
since the season started, right? So when you look at the back end, I ain't mean to cut you off, JR, but I had to. I'm talking about the back end of our defense. Y'all told me that Byers guy was the best safety on the team
Mm-hmm.
after y'all had did y'all research. Why he ain't out there? He looked
Um,
good. He was all over the field. He was all over the field Saturday night. Why he ain't playing?
yeah. Look,
I
he came. Well, he came in. He was injured through the week. So he was slowed by a lower body injury, I don't know what the injury was, but he was slowed by injury. I mean, you even saw glimpses of it in the Houston game. He'll make a big tackle and then he getting up slow. He kind of, he's favoring something on the lower half, but I don't know what that injury is. So that could be a reason. But needless to say, excuse me, it's, getting guys to play together, be watch, Coach Dre, y'all done coached at certain points in your life. It's hard to play. It's hard to do sometimes.
you need all 11 guys doing their job to make it work. And you hit it on the head. You don't have somebody lining you up like If something is out of whack, we had Silman Craig back there lining you up, knowing where you should be at. Again, I told you, everybody want to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. But to be a good chief, you had to be a great Indian. And so that's when I hear JR say, that's why you supposed to prepare like you're playing in the game. Regardless if you the backup, if you the scout team guy, you're preparing like this is my opportunity, like I'm gonna get in the game. And I think that might be some are problem. But again, I don't discredit what these young men are doing because Mathis has been coaching up great talent. So I don't believe that they're not getting coached up. Are you doing what what you're being coached to do? And right now, it doesn't seem that way when you look at it. Again, I haven't watched the whole game, so I'm not going to crash out. I heard Byers played pretty good, but my guy has been dealing with injuries. But he been out there playing. I heard Vickers didn't play as well as he played last week. But again, now you were splitting time with RJ. Now RJ gets hurt and you the guy. Now it ain't no rest. It ain't no come off the field for this play, then you go out for this. So it's a lot to digest. But again, it starts with the head. Coach Prime took responsibility for everything because you are responsible for everything that go out there on the football field. But I think that we going to see some changes probably coming this week. You got Wyoming coming in here. And again, the biggest thing is, B. Watts, we could have easily been in this situation last year. We just happened to win the third game. I don't think we're in no big of a situation than we were last year. We just got to get it right. And you got to figure it out. Because if you don't, then it's gonna be a long season. But this what I know is I believe in these coaches, I believe in these young men. But again, it's not the big things, it's the little things. And remember I told you last week, you got to be living right. You got to be living right. You got to do the little things right. And so sometimes it doesn't go your way. And again, football is a heavyweight fight. Hey, obviously we was Canelo and they was Bud Crawford this week. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all it is to it. So now can you get yourself up off the ground and go out here and play? Because now Wyoming thinking they can come in here and play football with you. And if you go out there with the sad face and think about what happened to you, you'll get embarrassed again. So I just want us to get up off the ground, dust ourselves off, and find out what kind of character and what we really made of.
All right, JR. Going forward, JR. Check this out. Steve crazy. Man. He said, it's just here, man. I'm trying to get a show off. He all in the chat talking about it's nice to have choir boys in church, but when you're on the field, you need some. Hey, that's me. I'm with you, Steve. You got to have some roughnecks, man. You got to, bro. You got to. But check this out, JR. Check this out. Now let's look at. I'm trying not to beat up on Coach Prime. All right. Check this out. The running back room. Marshall Faulk. He's a gold jacket. He's the one who's supposed to change the running back room. As Uncle Steve and you have said on Tuesday night, he gonna have a say in that running back when it come down to the running back. Go out there and how many times they run that football. Why they can't stick to the running game?
Man, that's not a question for Marshall Faulk, man.
But he in the room. He in the room.
I understand. But Marshall Faulk, when you look at the pecking order, Marshall Faulk down there on the pecking order. Like, he's a position coach.
He got a voice. Y'all say he gonna have a voice though. I can show you the tape where y'all told me that.
He does have a voice. And he could definitely be in there in that coaching staff meeting and be like, why my running backs only getting the ball 12 times? He could definitely say that.
It was the point in that game they didn't run the ball one time in the second half.
Yeah, look, if Marshall Faulk were to stand up on the desk Monday morning in Boulder in that facility and say, why did my running backs only touch the ball 12 times in the game? Everybody would look and they would respect where he's coming from. Nobody would question to say, well, they not doing this, so that's why they're not touching the ball. Because when the running backs do touch the ball, they look good,
It look
right?
good, bro.
So that's a question for Coach Prime. And I get it. I get it. Coach Prime, he sits down. Every coach does it. They sit down with their coordinators to talk
Okay,
about how they going forward.
ho. I'm glad you went there. I'm glad you went right there. Coach Prime said in a presser,
Mhm.
DNVR, Scotty Atkinson about the play call and the game plan. Coach Prime said these words right here. I ain't never done this as a coach or a been inside of a football. Coach Dre might have had. He said he sat down with the coordinators on Thursday to
Mhm.
go over game plan, and the game is Friday.
Yeah, look, through
Yeah,
the week, through the week you're working on stuff.
I
So
know, boy, man.
I don't I don't
Boy,
know. Look,
I was
I
a
don't know
junior
if
high
they
coach.
supposed to be.
Look, I don't know how Coach Drado did. I'm just saying you might be. Man, we sit down, we go over that damn game plan that Tuesday.
I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know it was a short week, so I don't know the functionings of the inner workings of when they meet and stuff like that. But he said they met
Listen,
that Thursday
I
before
think
the game. So
I
I
mean, they
don't
might
know.
do it different. I'm talking about where I brought up, when I was brought up.
Yeah,
We sit down and
listen
go over
what I
that thing
think.
Tuesday.
I think
yeah.
when he said he sat down and went over the game plan. So listen, so let's say, okay, today I just got out of a meeting. We put together a script of plays that we thought that we can run against this week opponent, right? We gonna go out there and work them plays all week. We gonna come back and meet on Thursday as a staff, offensive staff, and say what plays we felt like we ran good against assimilation of their defense. So I think what he was saying was that he was going over. He sat down with them after looking at what we done looked at all week. Tell me what y'all what plays you feel you can run. What you'll run to this, what you'll run to that. I don't think that meant he was just getting the game plan. I don't believe. I just
Oh,
don't believe
that's
Coach
how I
Prime.
took it. Yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
said,
no.
oh,
I think when they asked him that, he was saying I sat down with him on Thursday so what I'm saying is most offensive coordinators, they have the first 25 plays scripted. And he probably gave Coach Prime that script early in the week. Hey, not Pat, tell me which one of these, how many of these plays you like the way they look during practice this week? How did you like the way they set up? Like stuff like that. So that's what I think they meant when he meant going over the game plan on Thursday. I don't think it was, hey man, give me what you feel like for the no, because I don't think no coaching staff is doing that. Like I said, we don't, like you say, I don't even, like I say today, we just sat down and wrote down 25 plays we feel like that gonna get us what we want to get Friday. And we'll meet again Thursday after practice, because practice should be early on Thursday. We only out there about an hour. We'll meet again on Thursday and say, hey, now we don't went over. Now here go these plays that we went over on the board. How many of these plays we feel good with this week? And if it's some plays that we don't like, we'll take some plays out. If we like the way all 25 look, then we'll roll with all 25. So I think that's what he meant. That's just me, and because I don't believe Coach Prime waited till Thursday. Hey, give me your game plan. That I don't believe.
yeah. I'm going by what he said and what I interpreted. Because when I was coaching, we met on Tuesday, and we played on Friday, but we met on Tuesday. Well, we met Saturday, and we do the scouting on Saturday, who the team we finna play. Then Tuesday, we put the game plan in. Then Thursday, we'll meet again to finalize. That's how we did. That's how I've done all my life. And when he said that, I said, damn, I said, whoa. Cause
Yeah.
really, I'm they trying to question Coach Prime coaching skills on Sly. And I caught that. And I DM'd him on that about that too. You don't ask no coach that in no press conference. You know? You just don't.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me. So going forward against Wyoming. Now Wyoming played Utah pretty good.
Yeah. For the
They
first,
held an
yeah.
eye for the first 3 quarters.
About the first half. They look pretty decent. Yeah.
What you expect to see out of that? You expect to see a good running game out of that? But
Um I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It'll be easy for me to sit here and say, yeah, man, I expect them to run the ball 30 times and They get out there and the running backs get the ball 15 times. So look, I don't know what to expect. Uh, I'm looking forward to this week though, to see how things unfold, to see, what Coach Prime has to say on Tuesday about, what he wants to see from the team going forward, kind of thing. Cause that's their next available press conference. So I don't know what to expect, man.
Right.
Like I said, the defense been giving up 400 yards a game. So I could be like, look, I expect the defense to give up 400 yards a game. It would not shock me if Wyoming went into Folsom Field and put up 400 yards. I wouldn't be
I,
shocked. I'll be disappointed, like, golly, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point. So, and that's no knock to the team or to the coaching staff or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what's been put out in front of me for me to view for the past 3 games. So I would not be shocked if that happened. But I expect Coach Prime Tuesday, when he's there, he's answering questions. Obviously, they're gonna ask questions like, do you know who your starting quarterback's gonna be? Do you
right.
know who this gonna be? Do you plan on running the ball more times in the game?
Well,
Um,
Coach Brian ain't gonna give him no answer. He gonna play a
yeah,
Mickey Mouse game. So
but see, to me, I'm looking at it like if Coach Prime gonna sit there and tell him, man, I ain't gonna tell you that, dog. I ain't gonna tell you that, dog. At least if it's me, look, if you don't want to answer the quarterback question because you still trying to evaluate the quarterbacks through the week to see where you're at, fine. I understand that. But from a running perspective, all during the summer and fall camp, Coach Prime looked into multiple media outlets, reached the people well off in the pregame show and said, we gonna run that ball, dog. So if I'm a reporter and I'm asking that question to Coach Prime on Tuesday, Coach Prime, do we expect to see a heavy dose in the running game? And he'd be like, yeah, we're gonna run that ball. Then my follow-up question would be, do you know targeting, like how many carries you want to see, in the game? If I'm the coach, I'll be like, yes, I want to see 30 plus carries. I don't care about the flow of the game or whatever like that. For a team against like Wyoming, we should be dictating what we want to do. You heard Jordan Seaton say it. We
right,
should dictate what we want to do. So that's what I would say as a coach. Now, obviously, when you get in the game, you got to make adjustments and whatnot or whatever like that, right? Because if they
right,
stopping you from running up the middle, then you probably want to do a toss sweep. You probably want to do a pitch. You probably want to do a speed option, whatever the case may be. Because I know you have those in your repertoire as an offensive team. But I don't want to hear like, I just want to kind of the flow of the game, dog. Blah blah blah. No, dog. What you want to see as a coach? Because if you were to tell Pat Shermer, you need to incorporate 30 runs in this game, Pat Shermer needs to be looking at that script. All right, at some point, I gotta factor in 30 runs. So if you running the ball and y'all go 3 and out, hey, I'm doing what you told me I should do. Right? It's just
right.
up to the players at that point to execute on the field. But that's what I expect. The quarterback, sure, you don't know, but what kind of identity do you want to give to your team to say, well, this is how we gonna look, at least against Wyoming, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. It's just you know, we just lost to a team that we should have beat. You know, I didn't. That's the point I was trying to see. Uh, we lost to two teams. Well, I didn't think that. I thought that Georgia Tech game gonna be pretty hard to beat because of their style of running and the way they play. And we
Hmm.
didn't know what type of defense or, like y'all said, and I know you don't say it. I'm not gonna answer that question we watch until I see them on the field. So I gave that Georgia Tech game up in the air, but I thought we were gonna beat Houston. I don't even know if we can beat
Yeah,
Wyoming. I'm being honest about that. I don't know if we can beat Wyoming if they
yeah,
don't fix that defensive side of the ball. And
yeah,
right now they haven't. They haven't came up with a plan out of the first 3 games to stop the run. And do you have the players to stop the run? So I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. It's on their decision on that. But hey, uh, I expect them to, I hope they win. I'm looking for them to win. I want them to win. Uh, rest of the games. Well, Uncle Steve saying in the chat, hiring for offensive coordinator for Colorado Buffalo. No experience needed. Just have a plug.
Boy, Uncle Steve hell in that chat,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Golly,
yeah,
man.
on Pat Shermer, man.
Hey,
You know what?
somebody time out Uncle Steve,
Hey,
man. Come on now.
check this out. You know, I've been trying to give Pat Shermer a pass, trying to stay in his corner, but man, it's hard to fight. It's hard to fight these battles out here for him, man,
Yeah,
because he just be calling too many bubble screen, bro. When you can run the ball and you can get the max. I mean, you can get more out of a run with a fullback or
yeah,
just run the ball. Do what other teams doing to you. They sending
yeah.
a tight end in motion, going through the A gap, and the running back going through the A gap, and the quarterback that falling down. Hey, just get that, run that play. That's all they doing. Just run that play, there, man. You know, I
Yeah,
be saying, man. But anyway, Jr. It's frustrating, man, as a fan, because you want to see these guys do good.
yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I want them to be coached better, man. No way you can have all them guys to be. Well, as my neighbor said, it's a different being playing in the NFL if you ain't coached in the NFL. You know, you got. I said, wow. I said it is something. Everybody been saying that too. So that's a
Yeah,
different that too.
yeah. I mean, look,
Have you think they lost the locker room?
no. You don't lose the locker room after playing Houston, not the third game. Um, look, I think you like I said that Friday night. I think you lose the locker room if you don't come out as a coach and take responsibility for not having players prepared. Like I said, if Coach Prime would have went up to that podium that night after the game and said, "Look, I heard the plays being called and players just not executing for 3 weeks in a row, players not executing, so that's a coaching issue. That's no longer a player issue. Because you can say, well, we calling the right thing, but the player's not executing. Then that means they don't understand what's being called. They don't understand how to fit into the play call itself. That's coaching. Because you can't tell me again, I don't want to pick on any specific coach or position group, but we've all seen it. Coach Prime said it himself after the game. Man, I saw what y'all saw out there. And
Yeah.
so if we saw bad linebacker play all throughout the game for 3 games straight, and you say, well, Livingston dialing it up right, but players just out of position, that's a problem. So either Livingston is not fundamentally putting people in the right spot when it comes to a play call, or techniques are being not communicated correctly to the young men on the field to make the adjustments, because you're cycling through every single linebacker, and everybody that's watching the game is like, well, why are the linebackers out of position? Why are they doing this or why are they doing that? That's coaching. That's not the players, because the players are only doing the play that's called. Now, whether they executed 100%, 70%, 50%, sure. But when you tell somebody to make an adjustment and the adjustment is not being made, then that's like I said, that's a break in communication when it comes to instructing. And that's what I see it as. As a person that has instructed in my medical profession, I can't go and then when I'm doing an evaluation and I'm looking at somebody and they doing it wrong, and I'm like, whoa, you're just doing it wrong. I gotta then look at myself and say, well, what did I really teach you? Did I get you to a point where you understand what you're doing for this patient? So that's tricky, you know. But Coach Prime did the first thing. He went to the podium. Hey, I take full responsibility not having the guys prepared, and that's gonna change. And you go from there. So that's why I say I want to see what this week looks like. What does change look like, and what does it affect on the field?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. No, bro, it's just frustrating to see everybody running the same plays on us for 3 weeks. And you know why I'm gonna do the same thing. Why not? Yeah. If they ain't
Yeah,
prove they can stop it, why not run it, you know?
they gonna run it. So you need to be prepared for that. So
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is, B Watts, Houston ran the ball 53 times, man. They
I
only
saw
averaged
that.
about 3 yards a carry.
That's
We couldn't stop the 53 times. So it wasn't like they ran the ball, 30 times and was averaging 8 yards a carry. They ran it 53 times and just nicked and dimed all the way down. Doop, doop, doop,
Yeah,
doop,
they
doop, doop.
did. They
So,
did. I mean, they did. That's all it takes, JR. You'd rather get 3 yards on 4 play. That's first down.
yeah,
That I think it takes that, And our offense couldn't do nothing, man. Couldn't do nothing.
yeah,
Draylon Miller, he don't shot, man. He won't catch. He missing catches in all 3 games.
yeah. He's dropped the pass in
Yeah, he
all
dropped
three
in all
games.
3 games, man. And
Yeah,
I don't know. Coach Klein, it's his job to figure it out. Like you say, he took ownership of it. I
yeah,
expect him to figure it out. And hey, I'm still rock with him, but I still got questions about his coaching staff. I do. For the first time,
yeah.
I just sit back and wait and let you build your own resume. And I'm watching. And hey, I say what I really want to say tomorrow when I'm by myself. I don't want nobody on the stage saying y'all saying it, but yeah,
Yeah.
you might not want to watch tomorrow night because I'm going off. But Coach Ryan, you gonna get it tomorrow now. Coach Ryan gonna get it tomorrow, big dog. I don't want
They'll
to get
be
you involved in it and that like that. That wasn't me. That would be why. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow night chat. It's gonna be on. Bring your drink. And I'm starting right now. With my
not the drink.
screwdriver.
Oh
Bring your
man.
drink tomorrow night at 8:00. Coach Prime, you might not want to show this commercial.
Oh man.
I got
He
to
want
give
to
it to
say
you, big dog. I'm gonna
he gonna
give it to
start
him,
at
man.
he gonna start pre-gaming at 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock
Yeah,
is
I tell you,
going
man.
down.
Coach Prime got to do better, man. He got to do better, man. He calls all this, big dog. He calls it all. And he know what I'm
Yeah.
finna talk about too. Check this out, Jr. Also on yesterday, I'm talking about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
football wise, man. That Notre Dame game. Man, I don't know if you watched it all the way through, the way it ended.
I did.
You watched it. God,
I can't believe Marcus Freeman called a timeout.
I don't either, bro. I was just
I'm,
going to say that. He called the timeout, bro.
I'm like, look, I get it. You seeing a look. Maybe they saw a look that they haven't saw all game, and you want to get your team ready to, hey, this formation, we haven't seen it all game, and whatever the case may be. But dog, you just gave A&M the opportunity to huddle to take advantage of. They went after one specific player, and it was that linebacker. We
I was
gonna
going to
put
say
our
it's the
big
linebacker.
yeah, we gonna put our big tight end out there because we know this linebacker haven't been covering all game. And we gonna run him up in that end zone, and you gonna turn around and box him out, and we just gonna throw you the ball. And that's exactly what they
That's
did.
what he did.
I said,
Yeah.
why you call the timeout, Marcus Freeman? God, dog, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm 100% in belief that if he did not call that timeout, again, A&M trying to scramble to, time is running down, all of that stuff, and A&M was just gonna go out there and they was gonna tell that quarterback Marcel Reed, be an athlete and make a play. And Marcel Reed would have let A&M down. Because Notre Dame was ready. They was ready. And you stopped that momentum right there with the
Stop
timeout.
that momentum when he called that timeout. All right. The Georgia Tech and Clemson game. Did you see that game?
Look, it makes me feel a little bit better to know, hey man, Georgia Tech might be a team, dog. You know how many times Haynes King ran that ball against Clemson? 25 times, dog. He was
I was
toting
say
that
about
thing.
20-some
Boom,
times.
boom, boom.
He just running that thing.
Everybody was talking about how DJ McKinney got ran over. What about Woodass,
Oh, yeah.
one of the players from Clemson, a
Yeah.
linebacker? Haynes King ran him over, a linebacker. Boom, gave him that work, going through that hole. Boom, boom, boom. So that man, hey, that's a tough joker, man. And guess where he's from? Guess where Haynes King from?
Texas.
He from Texas, man. Hey, that's a tough joker,
Hey,
man. That boy's tough,
that
man.
boy tough, man. You put his body on the line, big dog. He
On
put it
the
out there, man.
line, man.
And
On the line.
what you think about the Florida Gators game? That dude threw 5
Oh man,
interceptions. DJ, whatever his name,
Lagway.
Lagway.
He a Texas kid too, man. Highly
Yeah, I know.
recruited
I
out
never
of
said you're
Texas.
a Texas kid there, but
Oh man,
he had that problem last year.
yeah.
He had,
For yeah, I mean, look, last year, true freshman, man, you're gonna have bumps and bruises along the way. But this year, for as good as Florida's defense played in Death Valley, for you to throw 5 interceptions, if I'm a defensive player on the team, I don't want to hear no my bad from you all week. I want to hear you say, we that'll never happen again. Because if you say my bad, dog, I'm gonna be like, I'm out here busting my butt. We held LSU to 20 points in their own home field. Held them to 20 points. And you throw 5 interceptions,
he
that's
goes
five
backwards, dude.
possessions that's just wasted.
He had a care in the world. I said, dog.
So, and look, we talk about play calling. I don't know if y'all watched that Florida LSU game. Play calling, whoever's the OC for Billy Napier out there in Florida, he might be on the hot seat too. Because he didn't put Lagway in a position to be successful.
No, he didn't. He
Them
didn't.
route concepts for them Florida receivers was pretty basic as well. So CU ain't the only school that's dealing with some OC issues. Because if you lose to University of South Florida, you ain't moving the ball against them. You really wasn't moving the ball against Florida, but the scapegoat is Lagway because he threw the 5 interceptions.
Come on, man. I said, dog, what that grab back that tongue in that thing. I don't care who he throwing it to, he just throwing it. But anyway, let's move on to Shador Sanders. It's been reported that he refused to be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. He
Yeah.
did not want to play behind Lamar Jackson, which I couldn't blame him because he would have been sitting there a long time.
Yep.
One of the best quarterbacks, the second best quarterback, some say the best quarterback in the league. But they trying to make a big story out of that, saying that, hey, he refused to be drafted by Baltimore Ravens. Say he'd rather go somewhere where he had the opportunity to start. And I can't blame him on that.
Me either, man. Look, I respect the decision, man. It's unfortunate that the Browns then turned around and picked him up, right? Um, especially after not picking him in the first round. So now they get him in the fifth round. So I kind of feel both ways on it. I'm teetering on the fence, but I definitely respect Shadur's decision to say, look, man, my dream is to be a starter in the NFL. And the way I see my clearest path of getting there is by going to a team where I can at least fight for a position to start. You go to Baltimore, there's no fighting for a position. But then on the other spectrum of it, the other side of the fence, it's like, okay, we all know that Cleveland is not really a good organization. They really haven't developed any quarterbacks. So where does that leave you? Because now we already hearing he not even getting reps on a scout team or in practice. So now you can question, well, is he being developed? But what we know about Baltimore is that quarterbacks have been developed. Joe Flacco came from a lower level school, a D2 school in Delaware at the time,
Right.
to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Lamar Jackson, which a lot of evaluators said, well, he's better suited to be a wide receiver or some type of gadget player, has become a 2-time MVP in Baltimore. So you can just look at those last two quarterbacks and say, well, they have been developed. It's definitely multiple ways to get to the end of a dream, but I respect the fact that he's saying this is the path I have chosen to get to my dream. And I can't fault him for that. I can't. He just gotta be, stay and remain locked in. And we all know the type of organization he's dealing with, in Cleveland. No disrespect to Cleveland fans if you're in the chat, but I mean, you've seen it over the past decade, how many quarterbacks they've cycled through. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
no love lost there for him, but he'll be all right, man. But dog, it would have been nice to see him in a 2 jersey in that purple, man. That would have been nice. That's all I got to say. It would have been
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, but I got it. I wouldn't have went there. You've been 10 years playing. Man, got 10 more years to play, probably. But anyway, even when you look at the Cleveland Browns, they got smoked by the Baltimore Ravens today, man. Joe Flacco looked like he's 80 years old out there throwing intercepts and then trying to run the man down, falling on his face, man. Man, Joe, give it up, man. Joe, just give it up, man. Give it up, Joe. Play, let the Ricketts play, man. They need to see what they got in the Ricketts. Joe Flacco looked really bad today, bro. That was a bad work he put out there today, man.
Yeah, man. Look,
He looked bad,
couple,
JR.
couple
Nah,
with
that dude
Baltimore
looked
coming off that
bad, bro.
loss. Yeah, couple with Baltimore coming off that loss, man. When it's a game they should have won against the Bills. Yeah, the Browns players took all of that, man.
Yeah,
They
they got.
they, they
Yeah,
took that butt whipping. It was gonna happen regardless, man. So and Flacco didn't help none, man. He
they
showed
help
his
none
age. He showed his
whatsoever.
age out there on that field, man.
Yeah, man. So Cleveland, they looking for anything with should do a name on it so they can get the interest level up. Anything come out so they can print it so they know we gonna talk about it. 'Cause right now ain't nobody talking about Cleveland. Nobody.
Yeah, yeah,
Nobody. They ain't coming to the game. They ain't doing that. They ain't doing that by Cleveland. But
yeah.
so how your team doing? How Houston doing?
We played them all night, man. Look, we went to LA, man, and played the Rams week one and laid an egg, man. We didn't get in the end zone at all. We kicked 3 field goals. The good thing is we held LA to 14 points, but we couldn't get in the end zone. So we suffered from the lack of being able to capitalize in the red zone. And that's the one thing about D'Amico Ryans. He's a safe coach. He real safe. He liked to play by the rule of law. Like, all right, well, we in the it's 4th and 3. We not going for it. So we just gonna kick this field goal. We're gonna let our defense like be our lead. And the defense did that thing. They held them to 14 points, man. But offensively, we just struggled to get out the gate. You couple that with our offensive coordinator came from LA, from the Rams organization. So the Rams already know the MO. Verbiage may be same, but you still looking at a mirror of the offense you're playing against in the Texans. So I'm expecting to see a better showing tonight on Monday Night Football when we take on them Buccaneers, man. So
All right, that's gonna be a good game, JR. Now you know
it'll be a
them
good game.
Buccaneers
Gonna be
got a
a
pretty
good
good
game,
team
man.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna be a good
Uh,
game, man.
let's talk about let's see. Oh my god, all right, we got about 7 more minutes. And I'll let you go. I want to watch this Falcon game, at least for the first quarter. JR, Taz Crawford stood up in that. Hey, what? Hey, I wanted to come on and do this show. I said, no, I'm gonna go take me a nap. I went in there, took me a nap, man. I stopped my alarm. I said, I need to wake up around about midnight. Woke up, man, I was ready for that fight. Man, the first 3 rounds, they were trying to fill each other out. But after that thing went off in that 4th round, I said,
It's
uh-oh.
time, man.
Boy, JR, I really thought Bud was going to stand up and try to fight him on the outside.
Yeah.
But man, man, Bud stood right there in that middle. He took a lick. Now, what y'all did get some licks on. But
Yeah.
Bud came back with that counter. I said, oh, shucks. Hey, Bud got to be he must have the hardest hands in boxing right now because that knot came up on that dude's eye beside his
Quick.
eye real fast, man. I
Hmm.
said, the only thing he was doing was throwing the jab. I said,
That's
he must
it,
got some
man.
hard hands. So what you think? You the expert. Tell us what do you think happened in that fight and give us your analytics. What went on in that fight?
Yeah, what I predicted was Bud was gonna win 8 out of the 12 rounds. In my humble opinion, after seeing the fight, Bud won 9 of the 12 rounds, right?
Oh, he
I
won
and
that to you? That what
yeah,
you
to
had?
me, to me, I had him, I had him 9 or 3. And man, look, it's a shame that those judges sat
How was
there
that close? It
and
wasn't even
had
close, bro.
113, 115.
I said,
What?
even the
Man,
referee, had it there. I said, damn fight they watching.
so that's the thing that I hate about boxing is that the the benefit of the doubt always goes to the champion.
Yeah.
Canelo didn't do anything to affect Bud
No.
Crawford's
No.
offensive output. He didn't
No.
do anything to affect that. Bud had a game plan going in. I'm going to move him around the ring. I'm going to move him around the ring. And like you said, about round 4, all right, now we're going to start exchanging blows. Round 6, I'm going to stand in the paint with you. Round 7, I'm going to back off. I'm going to back off. I'm going to move you around again. Round 8, I'm back in the paint. Boom, body. He started going to the body. Round 8. Boom, 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 boom. Round 9, he moved him around. Canelo was frustrated. Round 9, he was frustrated. Canelo was trying to throw one hit of quitters.
Yeah.
Round 10, you saw the combinations. Boom, 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 to the head, to the body, to the head, to the body. And then when you got to them championship rounds, 11 and 12, it was money. It was money. Bud knew he had it in the bag. All he had to do was keep Canelo off kilter, because all he wanted to do was land a glancing blow that can stumble Bud, where then he could come in and try to finish him off. But Bud's too smart for that. A master class. When you talk about a savant of boxing, he was a savant in the ring. It was a master class performance. There's no much more that could be said, man. There's no much more that could be said. He said what he was going to do. He went in there and he did it. 9 out of the 3 rounds belonged to Terrence Bud Crawford, pride of Omaha, Nebraska, in my humble opinion. And he really showed the world that I've been looked over, I've been passed over, I've been neglected in this boxing space, because people know I got the skill set to derail their career. And that's what he did, man. So he
Yeah.
stamped his legacy, because Canelo is the cash cow of boxing. He's been a tremendous champion all the way throughout. But Bud Crawford is that guy, man. And if he wants to ride out into the sunset, I wouldn't blame him. But if he wanted to rack up a few more paychecks and take some lollipop fights and come out and get him a couple $50 million checks before he go off into the sunset, I wouldn't blame him either.
Right.
I wouldn't blame
Right.
him.
Yeah. I was shocked when they came out with them scores. I said, "Whoa, this gonna be a
Yeah,
close
man.
fight. This gonna be a close fight." So at the end, why did he get them belts back?
Oh, so the belts belong to Canelo. So
I thought he put
the
them up, but he lost them.
yeah, the crazy thing about boxing and about the sanctioning of boxing, the boxers actually have to buy their belts. And they have to pay for a percentage of those belts. Annually, they have to pay for them while they hold these titles. That's why you'll hear some boxers like, hey, you can take the belt back. I don't care. Take it. Because one, they got to pay a percentage depending on what boxing sanction it is, whether it's WBO or WBA, but it's usually like 3%, 4% of a purse or something like that. It's a small percentage, but nevertheless, you're still paying a percent within itself. And then they're gonna handcraft belts just for Bud, because all of those belts say Canelo name across it, because
Okay.
he's won those belts. So you take it, you do the photo ops, right? Boom, you got all the belts strapped across your body, you're holding your arms out, belts there, and then you hand them back over after the fact, because all those belts say Canelo name on them. And then by virtue of mail, or sometimes they do it in a banquet style, Bud would then go and he would receive all his belts. So
I didn't know that. I appreciate that. I saw the highlights there on Twitter, and they showed me in the video where he gave them the belt back. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna ask Jr. why he had to get them belt back, or he
yeah,
just did it on his own." So now I know. I appreciate
yeah,
that. All right, Doc. I'm gonna end this show, man. I'm gonna get in and watch these Falcon games, man. I appreciate you tonight. We hit on a variety of things. We hope we satisfied the people in the chat. We appreciate y'all tonight. JR gives your last word. We're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate your chat.
look, man, it's always good chopping it up with my brother, man. B Watts. Shout out to Coach Dre for popping in. Salute to him and them kids, man. Hopefully they working hard out there and doing the thing out there in Florida. And hey, chat, look, hey, we gonna be all right, man. And Coach Prime, we trust, right?
Yes, sir.
We gonna trust that that he gets it right in some way, shape, or form. I'll tell you one thing, like I said earlier, I don't know what to expect against Wyoming, but hey, going out there and playing for your brother for the left of to the right of you, that don't change. That don't
Right.
change in that locker room. Them young men gonna play for their brothers to the left or to the right because players will go against the coaching staff before they start going against their own teammates. You build a bond with with the players you rock with. Sometimes you turn the blind eye to the coaching staff and you're like, "Dog, you keep doing the same play over and over again, or we not doing this." And sometimes players will question coaches. They ain't gonna say it directly to their face, but it'll be
Right.
murmurs. But them players, they locked in. They gonna play for each other, man, because they know that there's a handful of them that have a future that's gonna be big and bright in that NFL, and people want to contribute to that. People want to sit on their porch and tell stories to their wife and to their kids to say, "Hey, man, I played with Jordan Seaton. He was a
Right.
dog at Colorado. I played
Yep.
with DJ McKinney. He was a dog there. I played with Kay Salter. Man, he's a heck of a coach now." Or with Ryan Staub, he's a heck of a coach at the University of Colorado now. Like players want to be involved in that because I still tell stories today about a person that I played high school basketball with that made it to the NBA, and it's a pleasure. It's a pleasurable experience, man. And shout out to him. His career was shortened by virtue of an ankle injury. But shout out to Daniel Gibson, man, a Houston legend out there. And yeah, man, I had the opportunity to play ball with him. He went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, played with LeBron, all of this stuff, man.
Okay.
So he had the chance to live out a dream that I knew I wasn't gonna live out. I wasn't that talented like him.
Right.
But players want to be a part of that, man. So that is a part of it. So just know that locker room, them players in the locker room, man, they lock tight. They wanna figure out, they want to get together. And that's a good thing. Coach Prime that owned up to his responsibility in the matter of the fact. And so changes will come. I'm excited to see what changes occur through the week, getting prepared for Delaware on Saturday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was J.R. Boxing, one of the best to ever do it. Glad to have him a part of Sports Talk with B. Watts, along with the rest of the fellas that join me also. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. JR, have a good night. Appreciate you. Hope to see you on Tuesday, my brother, if you're not doing anything. And be blessed.
Yes, yes, sir. Salute, fam.